Good afternoon to all. Today we will discuss network analysis in the project management. We know that project is a set of unique activity and set of unique activity to accomplish a desired objective or desired goal, as we discussed in our previous lecture. Now, here mentioned in the first line, a project is a series of activity directed to accomplishment of desired objective. So that is the project definition, and a project need various skill and resources. Every project means it is a set of activities, and every activity needs some amount, some means skills as well as some resources to complete on time. Okay, so if every activity complete on time, then our project will be complete on time. But where we need to focus more, which activity are the critical for our project, all these things we need to find out, and that we can easily find out by use of the project management tool that we will discuss. The first thing means uncertainty also will be there in your project, like here mentioned, due to the new technology. Means every project, how you means suppose there is the housing project, then there is the first one is the foundation making process, or you can say the soil testing, then you go for the foundation, then you go for the wall making process, then you go for the roof making process. So these are the activity of your house making project. Okay, now for each activity you need to provide certain time. Means for a foundation work we provide suppose 1 week, for wall making process we provide 2 days, 3 days, like that you need to provide the definite time, okay, for the each activity, and that time will be based on the historical data, will be based on the project manager experience or contractor experience. Okay, so first, project is a set of activity, and you know the how much time is the needed for the particular activity, what are the resources needed, what are the skills needed as a project manager. Now next thing, their uncertainty, like means new technology. Due to new technology, suppose the activity time will be reduced. Okay, so that type of the uncertainty will be there in the project, as well as the external environment can change the character of the project. Means due to the external environment also some delay will be, means your weather is not good, then the activity will be not perform according to schedule, and delay will be occur in the particular activities, and it will be resulted is it will be means impact to your project completion time. Means uncertainty in every project, uncertainty will be there. Okay, so one more thing is, plan your work first, then work your plan. So here in next slide, so project management tool and technique. Project management tool and technique assist project manager and their team in the various aspect of project management. Means a specific tool and technique includes like Gantt chart, network diagram, critical path method, and program evaluation review technique, or you can say project evaluation review technique, project crashing. Okay, so Gantt chart means it will easily indicate when activity will be start, and when your particular activity will be start and will be end. You can means dictate by use of this graphical representation that I will show you in the next slide. Next is the network diagram. Means Gantt chart has some limitation, like it is not show the interrelationship between the two activity. Like we know that in house making project, their first process is the foundation. After that means foundation must be complete, then only we can start the other process. So this type of the relationship means preceding relationship, it is not we can dictate by use of the Gantt chart, it is a graphical representation. So the interrelationship we can represent by use of the network diagram, by use of the network diagram. Okay, and in network diagram there is the two type, critical path method and PERT. It will show you the some critical activity where we need to focus more, then only we can complete our project on time. Some critical activity will be there in every project. there those activities should be complete on time, then only you can complete your project on time. So we need to focus more on the critical activity instead of focusing on all activity. So that is the main focus, and it is very helpful in the project management. Next one is the PERT, program evaluation review technique. It is deal with the research related project. There we don't know exact time about each activity in the project. Like in research there means tentative time we know, but we go through such type of the research first time and we don't know how much time will be needed for the particular activity. Then we go for the program evaluation review technique, and there we put the time, probability based time we put there, and we try to analyze how much time is needed for a particular project. Next is the project crashing. It is deal with the means trade between the time and cost, and it try to optimize the cost of the project, and and also give your project within a time period. So it will be helpful. All the means this tool are very helpful in the project management. So I discuss one by one. First one is the Gantt chart. Gantt chart, here you can easily see these are the some suppose the one research project, and their first one is the planning, then is the research related to that project, then design, implementation, follow. And this bar chart, it is shows that this is the starting point of the this planning activity, and this is the ending point of this particular activity. Okay, so here you can easily see the planning phase will be start suppose in 20th Jan 19, and it will be end on suppose 15th March 19. The research phase will be start on suppose 10th Feb 19, and it will be end on means suppose 22 March, and like that you can easily dictate when your particular activity in the project will be start and when it will be end. So like that you can easily dictate by use of the Gantt chart. So here mention the advantage means Gantt chart are quite commonly used, and they provide an easy graphical representation of when activity might take place. Okay, so in planning, when activity of means the planning activity will be take place. So this particular activity will be take place in this time duration as mentioned here. The research activity will be take place as mentioned here. Okay, so you can easily dictate when activity will be start, when activity will be end, according to your plan, according to project manager plan. But then what is the limitation? Like means suppose planning activity is not done on time, then it will be impact on another activity or not. You can't dictate by use of this graphical means you can say by use of this Gantt chart. If planning activity not done on time, then what will be impact on the follow up activity? What will be impact on the design activity? If research is not done on time, then what will be impact on the implementation? What will be impact on the design? What will be impact on the follow up? So this interrelationship is missing here. Okay, so it is we can say in the limitation, do not clearly indicate detail regarding the progress of activity. It does not show the progress of activity, as well as do not give a clear indication of interrelationship between the separate activity. Okay, so what is the interrelationship between this activity, planning, research, design, implementation, and follow? It is not means we can dictate by use of this Gantt chart, or we can visualize by use of this Gantt chart. So that's why there one more thing is come, that is the network of project management, and that network analysis, how to do the network analysis, that we will discuss. So first network in next. Okay, so before that, what is the project planning? As we discussed in our previous lecture also, in the project planning phase, you need to perform the following activity. First, you have a project. Okay, now you need to identify the task in your project, which type of the means what type of the task we need to do to complete this particular project. So you need to identify all the tasks related to your project, then determine the resource requirement related to each task. Okay, what type of the resource requirement, what type of the skill requirement, that you need to determine. Estimate the cost and the time of your project. Specify the interrelationship between the tasks. Okay, there are definitely some interrelationship will be there, so you need to specify what is the interrelationship will be there. Next, develop a network diagram. So these are the basic steps, means you need to know before going to the network diagram. Means every project is a combination of the some unique activity. Like if I'm taking a research project, there is the first, you need to identify the introduction part, then you go for the literature review, then you go for the means you can say you go for the means after literature review you can easily identify what are the gap available and where we need to focus more and which type of the work is still remaining. On the basis of that you set the objective, on the basis of that you do your design, and you can say the experimental work, survey study and all, and you means result analysis and the conclusion part. So these are the activity of any research project. Now there is the interrelationship between the each project that you need to specify. Means before literature review, means literature review must be complete, then only you can set the objective of your research, then only you can perform. On the basis of the objective you can perform your experimental work and survey study and all the things. So you need to specify the interrelationship between the task, like I gave just example. Next, according to that, the interrelationship according to time duration of the each task, and number of the tasks available in the project, you can easily make a network diagram. Okay, so here what is the network is represented in this slide. A network is a graphical diagram. Okay, as mentioned here, a network is a graphical diagram consisting of certain configuration, as mentioned here, arrow and node. Okay, for showing the logical sequence of various tasks to be performed to achieve a project objective. Like here mentioned, you suppose one project is start, the foundation work you need to complete, then this is the housing project. Okay, so you completed the foundation work, now frame completion, then plumbing work, electric wiring work, sliding work. So this network diagram easily shows the interrelationship between the task, or you can say between the activities. Means foundation work complete, then you can start the framework, and framework complete, then you can start the plumbing work, electrical wiring work simultaneously, and also sliding work you can start simultaneously. Like you can easily dictate. We will take more examples and we try to take case study so you can understand more about this network diagram. So next, network diagram. There are the in project management there are the two type of the network diagram. First one is the activity on node and activity on arrow. There is the two type. Okay, so activity on node, a completion of activity is represented by node. Okay, so a completion of activity, if you represent it by a node, then it is coming to the activity on node. Activity on arrow, an arrow represent a task, while a node it is the completion of the task. Means the arrow represent the order of the event. So I will take some example so you can understand more about the activity on node and activity on arrow. The example mentioned here, draw an activity on node and activity on arrow. Okay, diagram for the following project. So here construction activity is given A, B, C, D. Okay, and the predecessor activity with respect to this task is given. Means how to dictate this table, that is the first thing. Means it shows like that activity A is the independent activity. Activity B start once activity A must be complete. Means A activity must be complete, then only you can start the activity B. Like I gave you the example. Means without foundation work you can't go for the wall making, you can't go for the wiring and all plumbing work. Okay, so the first thing means A must be complete, then only you can start the activity B. A must be complete, then only you can start the activity C, and activity D will be start once B and C must be complete. So like that you need to dictate this table. Now I try to make activity on node diagram for this particular example. Okay, so here activity on node, first I try to make, just wait. Okay, so first I try to make activity on node, just wait. So here we're trying to make activity on node diagram, just wait. Activity on node. So here node represent the activity. Okay, so this is suppose activity A. Okay, it is an independent activity. Activity B will be start once activity A complete, as mentioned in this table. Activity B start once A must be complete. Okay, then activity C. And for activity D, B and C both are the preceding. Means both must be complete, B and C, then only you can start the activity D. So this is the activity on node type of the network diagram for this particular project. Now I try to draw activity on arc. Okay, so here suppose this is the activity A, then here you need to draw like this. This arrow represent activity on arrow, means this arrow represent the activity. So this is the activity A. This is the starting point of activity A, ending point of activity A. Means here activity A is ending. Now activity B start once A must be complete. So this is the activity B, means this is the ending point of activity A. Here you can start the activity B, and this is the ending point of activity B. Now next activity C. Activity C start once activity A must be complete. A completed. Now you can start the activity C here. This is the activity C. Okay. Now activity D. For activity D, B and C both must be complete. Okay, so B and C should be must be complete, then only you can start the activity D. So how I represent this B and C must be complete, then start the activity D in this network diagram. So here I just first consider B must be complete, then we need to start the activity D. Okay, so if I make a network diagram like that, then it shows D start once B must be complete. How I represent both B and C must be complete? By use of the dummy activity. So this is the dash line, they show the dummy. This is the dummy activity. Okay, so like that you can easily represent by activity on arrow. So here one thing is come in your mind, like activity on node is very easy and activity on R arrow is the difficult, because in activity on node there is no dummy activities requirement. In activity on arrow there is the dummy activity requirement for represent the preceding relationship. Sometimes we need it. But one more thing, the activity on arrow easily represent when your activity, particular activity will be start and when activity will be end. The starting point of the arrow represent the starting point of your activity, and the ending point of the arrow represent the ending of your activity. As well as you can see here, this point show, this node show starting and the ending of your activity, and arrow represent the activity, like that. So you can easily dictate when activity start, when activity end, and according to that you can you can easily dictate the precedence relationship. Both are used in the industry, but according to convenience you can use anyone. Okay, so now again the next example, here I try to make activity on node for this particular example. Here draw an activity on node and activity and arrow diagram for the following project A, B, C, D, E, and with respect to that the preceding relationship is given. Okay, A, B, B, C, D. So here you can start with the activity A. This is the activity A. Suppose if I draw the network diagram according to activity on node, this is the activity B. Activity C. Okay, activity D. If you see in this table, activity D means activity B must be complete, then only you can start the activity D. So here D must be complete, you can start the activity D, like that. Okay, now for activity E, C and D must be complete, so you can easily represent like that. Okay, so it is the most easy way to represent by network diagram by use of the activity on node. Now I try to draw by activity on arrow. So first I try to draw the activity A. This is the activity A. Okay, so A completed. Now activity B. For activity B, A must be completed. For activity C, A must be completed. So this is the activity B. A must be completed, then you can start the activity B, and like that I represent here. Here A completed, now you can start the activity B. Here A completed, as per the table you can start the C. Okay, now for activity D, B must be completed. Okay, B must completed, you can start the activity D here. So one more thing, the C and D both are the play as a preceding relationship for the activity E. So try to make these 2 points at one particular node. Okay, so I try to draw activity D here, just wait, like that. This is the activity D. Okay, so here it is shows like that. It is shows like that. Activity B completed, then you can start the activity D, and both are the ending point of the C and D meet at one particular node. That's why we can easily start the activity E here in this network diagram. So you need to draw like that. Some logical thinking is needed while making an activity on arrow diagram. Okay, Now for example 3, draw an activity on node and activity on arrow diagram for this particular example. So I just again try to make all the things quickly. Activity on node, activity A, this is the activity B, activity C, activity D. Okay, and then C, D, B both completed, then you can start the activity. So here just for the confusion purpose they give C, D, E, because D means once B must completed, then only you can start the activity D. So B, just for the making confusion they put here, you can directly connect these two things. Okay, now if you see, then E start once D, C and B already completed, then only you can start the D. So C, D, B are the preceding relationship for activity E. Okay, now same I try to draw with activity on arc. So here this is the activity A. Okay, now this is the activity B. Activity C, activity D. Okay, so again I am trying to make like that. This is the activity D, and then C, D both are the preceding for the activity E. So like that, there's for some confusion, for the confusion creation they put here B, but it is same as the example 2, because B already completed, then only you can start the activity D. So you can say for activity E already B is completed, so C and D both are the preceding relationship, which we easily represent by use of this two network diagram. So if you see here, for E, C and D must be completed, then only you can start the activity. So this is the some introductory part of network analysis in project management. Now in next lecture we will discuss how to find out the critical path with some example. Thank you.